Hi guys, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to build this Knight's Hall, this kind of medieval Knight's Hall. And it's kind of going to be a bit of an intermediate tutorial. It's not going to be super difficult, but it kind of does require at least a little bit of knowledge, as it has got a couple of little bits going on with it. So it's kind of a very basic modular style, as we've got with the wooden houses that you guys have probably already done. So we've kind of got the main kind of module here, which is the main house. Then got a small extension, and we've also got this tower on it. So the actual one that I've got in Decorative is kind of empty. So when I was doing the time lapse, you know, it is completely empty. But I've got one on the other world which is kind of full. Obviously, if you're going to be building this one into a hill, you want to kind of figure out where you are and basically just let the terrain take over. You can see here that it took over here and just took out the window. There isn't anything on the back, and took out those windows down there. So if you are building it into a hill like I've done on here, you can see here, it kind of just make sure that it works with the terrain, and it'll just kind of cut into it. So let's jump into the tutorial world. Okay, so here we are in the tutorial world. So this one, I've just basically pulled it out of Decorative, and touched it up so that it's completely kind of fine as you can see it now. So this one isn't in the hill, this will just be if you're building it on flat. But everything's exactly the same as if you were building it there. I've also just put in the floor and put in kind of like a basic kind of fireplace. So where the actual back tower is, you can put in a fireplace pretty easily as well. So I've just got a couple of pillars here. I just kind of mess around, but this is the kind of bottom floor. And if we go up one floor, if I just punch my way through here, this is the next floor. So you'd have this entire floor. You could make a nice cupboard for storage in there. A couple of windows. You could then, you know, section off these parts when you get around to it. This kind of back tower, you could have the fire going all the way up, but you could just leave it and kind of pretend that it's inside this block, because a meter is enough for it. So you've already got that. You've basically got 3 blocks, which is basically 3 meters by 1 meter. That'll be enough to carry a chimney kind of internally, even if it isn't doing it properly. You'd then have another floor up here as well, which would be the kind of roof. So that's pretty big, and that actually has a balcony. So you got this nice balcony here, and then if we go into the tower, you can actually punch up through the tower wherever it is. There we go. You got another small room, and if we punch through the roof, you then come up to the actual little guard tower, which is at the top, which is actually quite big. Actually, it's quite a big guard tower, but at least it gives you kind of like an idea of what you can do and how big this build is. It can also double up not just as a knight's hall, but as a kind of higher class building. With a little bit of a difference, kind of like a military thing, but I put that on there to try and make it seem very militaristic. So, the main materials you are going to need to grab, and I'm using John Smith Legacy for this. I will actually switch to default in a second, I'll just get all the materials together. So, main materials, for the actual pillars, I used the stone brick, and then you're going to have your cobblestone. And what you're going to do for your main roof is going to have spruce wood or any other type of wood, and then kind of go around that and border it with stone stairs. You also need a stone, kind of cobblestone slab. And that'll be it for the basic materials. Basically, all of this kind of detail that we'll put in here, we'll do later. Actually, we can also, yeah, if we grab chiseled stone bricks, it'll make it a little bit easier later on. So, I'm just going to switch to the default texture pack to show you guys on the console versions. Okay, so this is what it looks like in the default texture pack. So you guys on the console or pocket versions will be able to see it like this. Still looks really good with this stone brick, and then actually having the cobblestone on the inside. It kind of details it quite nicely. You can still see it on the kind of sides as well. So it does work really quite well. And there's not really too much you guys would have to do to it to change it. The only thing I'd probably change is either these nether brick kind of fences. You could then just go with normal fence, or you could also, you know, do something. For example, if I just take this out, you can do stuff, you know, like cobblestone, or put stone brick stairs around like this, and then do something like that. That might look cool as well. I'd probably do that with the stone brick. So there's kind of like a couple different things. You could do that on, obviously, this version if you're on PC as well. So there's a couple of different variations you can put on there. Also, this, I would probably use oak wood on the default version. But everything else kind of works quite nicely. So that's pretty much it for the kind of switch outs if you're on the console version. It's pretty much nothing. It's pretty much exactly the same. So let's get started on this build. Okay, so I switched back to John Smith as it's kind of my preferred texture pack. At least for these tutorials, I've actually switched to Conquest, but this kind of works really nicely for tutorials. So we're going to start with this entrance block here, and then we'll work around the main kind of structure. There is this kind of extra bit added on the side, and you could obviously put that onto the other side, but I'll go through that as we kind of get to there. So let's place it down here. It should be fine. So just going to place down one block here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then come over by 5. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is 5 blocks right here, like that. You're then just going to add an extra one, and this one will actually be a pillar, just like that. And now that we've got that kind of basic frame, what you can do is on each of these kind of corner pieces, whenever you have the top of it and it kind of intersects, you can put in a chiseled stone brick. We're actually going to go back now. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. We can put in that chiseled stone brick and then build up a pillar like this, and it'll be the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Put in your chiseled stone brick if you like, and change it there. So this is basically our little entrance, this kind of front part here. And now from this entrance part, we're going to just add 5. So you got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then add a block, and then of course kind of pillar this up again. And if we do it the same on the other side, we'll add this extension on in a second. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add a block and make your way up like that. Now this one starts to go back. So it's only on, if you're doing it exactly the same as I've done it here, the extension is on the right side if you're looking at the building. So this one then just kind of works its way back. So it's up to you. You can do those extensions on both sides. All you have to do is mirror what we do on the other side and flip it over pretty easily. I'm just going to go to this one and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shove on your chiseled stone brick and again build up, and then another 5 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And shove your chiseled stone brick and build up again. So then you get that section there. Now if we do it on the other side, what we're going to do, instead of going straight back, we're going to add 2. So you're going to go 1, 2, then do this. And you can make this extension as big as you want. If you wanted to, add an extra section of 5, you could. I just made it quite small because it kind of looked a little bit better, compact, as if it's been added to the building at a later time. Now I'm going to do the 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And add that there. And you can see I've just put those in a different way, just to show you that you can use those chiseled stone brick to actually kind of mark out everywhere. And then here we've got this 2, so you're going to go 1, 2. Then chiseled stone brick. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chiseled stone brick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chiseled stone brick. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and 5. And it should just add up to there. So if we just build this up, you probably noticed we haven't put the tower on. We're just going to do that in a second. It's just easier to get the frame right. So this is what you should have, a kind of elongated on one side, but the main kind of body of it is pretty straight like that. Okay, and now for the tower, what you're going to do is if we come around to the back section and just directly in line with this entrance that we've got here, on this back piece, we're going to add 2 blocks. So you got 1, 2. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2. So it just gives you this, and we can just build this up for the time being. And we'll be chipping into this in just a second. We'll just get that there like that. And then we're going to grab our chiseled stone brick and just cut one out and put one here. And here, and here, and here, and here. What this does is it just adds a little bit of style, but tells you where the floor is. As on the inside, when you're putting in your floor, this will be where your floor is, and I usually use this chiseled stone brick for that as well. Okay, so now that we've got that, and we've got the kind of basic shape, we've got the kind of back bit, we need to kind of fill in the windows. So, it's not going to be on this kind of front part here, but on these bits, what we're going to do is we're going to just have cobblestone, and we're just going to go in by 1 block. So you're in, it's 1 block here, and you're just going to go around the window like this. And they go around as well. If I can place these blocks, I'm getting quite stuck today. So there we go. And also on the back. And then just bring up to here. Just leave that kind of back section open. Like that. And then you'll see that we've done it on that side. Now on this side, you're going to do the same. Just window this bit. It is a little bit different because you've got this side part. But this side part, we're just going to make completely a side wall. There's no point to try to do a window. But this part, we can have a window. So, add in the window there. Same on this bit, add in the window for the back. like this, and go up and around just like this, and that'll give us the basic windows. Okay, and now for the front, what we're going to do is with this extension is just add a block onto, basically go in by one block, and we're just going to build basically a diagonal frame like this. Now we can get rid of this really straight block there, and we're going to grab, actually need to grab some stone brick stairs. There we go. Stone brick stairs for this part. And what we're going to do is we're just going to add them in here, and this one we're going to go this way and add them in there. So that's what you're going to have for this front part. If you grab your cobblestone, these sides we're just going to make solid like that. Same on the other side, like this. And then if for the time being we just make this part solid and just cover up where you got these gaps like that. Do we have a gap there? Yeah, we did. There we go. So that gives you this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create the door for this. So we're just going to create, just basically cut out a 3x3 box right in this part here. So far it looks pretty boring, but we're going to put in a stair here and a stair here. You could have this just open. This is to create kind of a big door. What I did then is I came behind here and went up with a couple of logs like this. And that's it, kind of closed. What I usually do is I have this closed, but put in a kind of wooden door so it's actually still practical. You can either put it in this way or that way. It's up to you. Or what you can do is you can kind of make this look like it actually is a big one and do something like this. So it's actually open like that. I might do that for this one. So then you'd ignore it, but you would just put the buttons on. If you have it the other way, oops, I didn't mean to destroy that, but if you had it just here, going up, and then with a wooden door, I'll just put, for style, just put in two buttons there, the stone buttons. But like I said, I'm going to make mine a little bit different. I'm going to make it a little bit open, so I'm just going to have this here, or you can just have this straight back. Maybe that might look better, because we've only got a small entrance here, so that might look better. So then it looks like it's kind of open. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to detail all of these kind of side parts. But first, we need to grab something for the windows. So we've got glass panes, and we've also got glass. If you guys are on the later versions, you're going to have a lot more than me. You have all the different types of coloured glass, and you'll be able to do some really cool stuff with that. So there's about 1 million different styles you can do with the glass. Since all these sections are exactly the same, you'll just be able to basically copy and paste that style onto all of these. So what you can do is you can have two pieces of kind of full glass in the middle, and then you can have glass panes on the side. That'll give you this kind of design where it's coming out and then going back in. You can of course then do the opposite, which will give you this kind of big side, and then it kind of draws you in on that part. You can obviously just go with glass panes, or you can go with just glass blocks. It's kind of up to you. I don't advise going with just glass blocks. It makes it look too flat. If you're going to go with just something, I would go with just glass panes. What I'm going to be doing is doing this, and this is the style I've decided to go with, this one in the middle, and the ones on the side. So then just go around the entire build, just applying that, kind of whatever you've decided to go with, and this is where it starts to become your own kind of build a little bit, and it's kind of a bit customized. So I'll just speed through this part of the video of me just putting in the glass, and I'll catch you guys when you've done that. Okay, so now our glass style has kind of been established. So there's another style that we need to establish with this build to make it look good. So if we just go to any of these sections again, and I would advise doing it with the section of 5, where you got the windows, but there's going to be a couple of different styles you can do with this. You can go just have the stairs in the corners, and you can just leave it like that if you wanted to. Another thing you can do is put in there, so you've got stairs in the corners and you've got slabs. You can just go purely with slabs as well. You can go with the slabs, kind of predominantly slabs, and then actually have these corners in here, like that. That's another style. You can also, if you have them this way, you can have the middle one as well. That's one that I kind of like quite a lot, and that's the one I'm going to go with this for this build. Just because it makes this middle one look strong if you've got that window there, and then it makes these look kind of like they are recessed because you've got this less This one's kind of got a big angle and it goes directly to a window. This one's more sloped in. I think that makes sense. So this is kind of one of my favourite out of all of them. You've obviously got all stairs. That one's also kind of works. And you've also got, if you wanted to, do something like this. So you've got something like that, kind of a bit weird. But you can kind of be really, really creative with it. You can even go the opposite way around. So maybe we've got this way around here. Like that. And then if you grab your... If I just find some... Where is it? Cobblestone wool. If you've got this, you can then connect these in here. And I forgot completely to put in those. So you can do some really weird styles. Kind of quite quickly. But that's what kind of giving that extra block does. I mean, you can even cover this all in cobblestone wool if you really kind of wanted to. And there is another style as well. There's absolutely tons you can do with this, guys. So you can actually wrap this around and then go around here. This works really well if you just have glass panes, and only really works when you have just glass panes. Basically what you're doing is, I'm just going to cut through all this. So here, wrap around. Here, wrap around, wrap around. So it creates this kind of pretty crazy style, but that kind of leans itself on it, and it creates this kind of quite nice gap here. So when you actually continue that style around, you could actually then have this wrapping around here, you know, and then wrapping around this part, and then going around the entire front part until it kind of wraps into here. It kind of gives it a different style. I think it makes these bits look too chunky, so I'm not that keen on it. I would actually probably finish it there. Again, it's another kind of style kind of choice type thing, and then if you wanted to, you could put in slabs there instead to make it look a little bit bigger without it looking that much bigger. So there's a couple of choices. I know what I'm going to be going with, and I'll just show you exactly what I'm going to be going with, and I kind of prefer the most. And I've completely destroyed this window now, but there we go. Got this, we've got our cobblestone going across here, got cobblestone down here. I like to have kind of basically alternating between slabs and stairs, especially with that kind of window style. I think that looks the best. So now all you're going to do is just go around and just basically apply this style to all of these 5 windows. We'll go through the smaller ones in a second. I'll just speed through this part, and I will see you guys after you've done that. Okay, so that's it for that part. So you can already see what it's kind of done to it, and it's added a lot of style into it without us really doing too much to the building. It's only taking up 2 blocks. So that's one kind of really good trick, to actually use your slabs and your stairs really nicely with alternating materials between your pillars and also your kind of almost your walls there. That always works really well. So for this free section, I would just do whatever style you've got here and kind of establish, whether it's been, you know, going across here or going in here. You just basically do it a bit smaller. So just cut out, well, basically kind of like this middle section here and one of these, you know, just make it into a section of 3. So I'd go here, 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 because I did alternating stairs, but I had my stairs in the corners. For this one, I just put in stairs. No matter what style you've got, just put in stairs for that bit. So if we just fly around here, just put in stairs. And fly around. Have we got any more? There we go, we just got this one here, so we've got stairs here. So you can put that in there. Now what we need to do is we need to grab, just for this back part, stone brick slabs and stone brick stairs. There we go. So what we're going to do here is on this back of the tower, we're going to detail this, because at the minute it looks a bit boring. Even though this would be completely practical, this would be realistic, it looks boring, and I kind of like to push things back. So I'm going to push this wall back and add in this just here. So that will give us that. And again, using these chiseled stone bricks kind of tells you where to stop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our stone brick stairs, put them in these corners like that, and you could leave it like that, but because we have this one here, I usually do this, and it kind of creates this interesting circle style. When you have a 4 kind of high and 3 wide, you can actually do it with the slabs to make it look like it's even, which is quite interesting. So you can do that if you want. If you did want to as well, if you didn't want to have, for example, a fireplace, you can come in onto the back of this, grab, for example, iron bars or something like that, something similar, and you can put those in. So you could actually have kind of this is possibly a small, maybe this is a city watch building, I don't know, you could have that. And you could have like a small prison at the back where you could just have like one person kind of locked behind bars in here, and that would actually be a pretty big cell. But you know, you can do stuff like that. But that's pretty much it for the bottom floor. What we're going to do now is we're going to build, kind of start building up. We'll build the framework and get some of these roofs in as well, just the kind of basic ones. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to this side here. We're just going to place a block on here and a block on here, just like we did on this smaller bit. It's going to basically move our way in and move our way up. If you've done my other medieval tutorials, this is kind of quite standard to you guys. It's just basically framing the kind of roof like that. And it gives us a nice basic shape, so we know that the roof is going to be there. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to build this up and just have a pillar going up, because it's a stone brick building. It needs to have a little bit more support. Okay, so what we're going to do next is build the next floor. So if we just go from here, because we've got this kind of front roof here, we're just going to go behind it and go 1, 2, 3, and 4 this time. Instead of having it 5, we're actually going to have 4. So we're going to have a smaller, kind of, the upstairs bits are a little bit smaller than the bottom. This will make these windows look bigger, but it will also make, obviously, the interior for almost like a hall, where you have lots of, you know, tables and stuff like that. It'll make it look a lot better for that. So I've gone up by 4. I'm going to go across, and actually we can already, if I grab my, there we go, chiseled stone brick. If we just put that on there, so you've got 1, 2, 3, and then chiseled stone brick. And I'm going to go across by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your chiseled stone brick down, and then connect it in there. So you can see this kind of slightly smaller section. We can only fit 3 blocks in there, whereas this one has 4, though I can't really fit it in anymore. Now we're going to go across here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put 1 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put 1 there. And just build it onto the actual frame. You don't really want to do it behind this, because we'll probably be taking out a big chunk of this anyway. It's just there to know that we've got a kind of solid building behind that bit. Now if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going this way, you can basically see we're just building on the last floor, just with a couple of edits. For this tower, again, just build it all the way up. We'll just add in the kind of extras. So build this up, and there. And again, I'd probably go across here, just so that you know where the kind of this tower is. You could also build this tower on the inside and actually have it completely round. I just do it this way. If you're going to do that, you would have to add 2 blocks on here, then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and have 2 blocks that way. And that's all it is. It's just a 5. Basically, everyone's got a 5 round kind of circle. So it's up to you if you want to do that. I just kind of leave it open, and maybe at the higher floors make it look like it, but nobody will notice from the inside. So here we're going to go 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then add your kind of chiseled. Again, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, add your chiseled in, go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put your pillar, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're basically just going around to this point here, and then join across this section like that, and that will give us this kind of this basic shape. We should have 3 sections of 5 here, so you've got 1, 2, 3, and then on the sides you should have 2, and it gives you just this very square kind of rectangle shape. If you've done my in tutorial, this is very similar. It's actually probably the same, just different materials, and obviously the way that we've done everything is completely different, but it's the same kind of size, so you get that kind of sense of a kind of bigger scale of everything. And we've also got the tower in here, and for this tower we might as well put in a chiseled stone brick here and do all of this stuff like that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do again is the windows. So grab your kind of cobblestone and also your 2 things. So even on the higher floor I still went with cobblestone with this. I tried out stone, and you guys can try out stone if you want to, or any other material, just to make it kind of different, but I kind of preferred the cobblestone. But we're going to do exactly what we did before, which is just go around these sections, and you'll notice that they are 1 block shorter. So if we go up here, go around, and then this one here we don't do. It's just going to be these 2 sides like this, and just this side here for a window. And of course this front bit is going to have a roof on it, so we need to leave that. For the inside of this part, I just went on the inside, like literally. Just one block in and just built up like that. So just one block in and build up. Just like that. And that will just give you a kind of indented look, and it fits in with the bottom one that you've got there. I guess you could put windows into this, but it doesn't really fit if you kind of cut in to here, for example. If we had this missing, we could do it. So you could always cut that out, but it doesn't look as kind of strong, so I just kind of took that off, and I decided that there was enough windows in that kind of this section anyway. So now, again, basically the style that you established here, just do exactly the same on this part, just basically on a smaller scale, so it'll just save you a little bit of time. So put that in there, and this one is just going to have them there, and then you got one here like that. So now we've got in those windows. What we're going to do is we're just going to do this front roof. So if you grab your spruce wood stairs or any other type of wooden stairs, it doesn't really matter. You can mix and match with the roof. This is just kind of what I prefer for these kind of higher class buildings. I think that this kind of borders it really nicely. It gives it a kind of sharp edge with the stone or cobblestone stairs and the darker wood, but it's up to you. You know, you can choose whatever you want. So we're just going to go onto the side here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then overhang by 1. Now the next bit, we're just going to go here and here. Now we're just going to basically use what we put down before as a kind of guide, and then just on the overhang, we're just only going to have stone stairs. On this part, we can have an upside down stair. And if I just put in these like this, just so we can drag them across, and this makes a really, really simple roof. Now on the inside, I kind of prefer to actually do this and have the stairs kind of in there like that. It's just because of this one block back thing, it just makes it look better. So there we go, put those in there. If you have to, you might have to cut through and then just cover this up with a couple of little bits of your cobblestone. And if you did have your floor in, if I can actually grab some sort of wood, there we go. So if you did have your floor in, it'd be on this level. It creates this really, really small room above the door. You could just have this open and then have a balcony looking over the door. But it's up to you, you know, as always. So here, we're just going to border this with the stone. I've got a stone brick. And then on this bottom part, we're just going to have this overhang and just hits into that part there. So then we've got this. Just on this part, we're going to drag this kind of cobblestone slab to this point here. Actually, we're going to take it one back. So we've got it on top of this. We have one going this way, and one going this way, and we're just going to give it this kind of Nordic kind of flick. Even though it's not fully Nordic at all, there's a lot more, but it gives it a kind of a flick on it. And now on these parts, we're going to put in upside down stairs. Just like that. And that'll finish off that kind of front part, and you can see the kind of detail that we've got in here. I also kind of put in a stair in here. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of up to you, to be honest. Okay, so now we're going to do the window boxes. We're not going to do this roof here, the reason being that it kind of hits into the next floor above as well. So we'll get that kind of next floor done, and then we'll kind of finish off that roof. But we can get these boxes done, these kind of sections. So what are we going to need? We are going to need, again, whatever kind of combination of stone stairs and slabs that you used. We're going to need those, but we're also going to need grass. If you're on survival, for example, you'll be using dirt. That kind of works absolutely fine. You're also going to need... We're going to need bone meal. So bone meal. There's the bone meal. And we're going to need trapdoors. So what we're going to do is, on these parts, we're going to go... Just lump down 5 of those. Bone meal the grass. You can put your own kind of flowers on it if you want to. I usually just bone meal the grass because if you put the flowers on, humans have a kind of pattern of doing things. And you can kind of tell that you've placed them there. It's really weird, but you can do it. Unfortunately, I'm not getting any flowers with these, it's just grass, but that's fine. So I'm just going to put these in. And I've been really unlucky with just grass, which is a bit of a shame. Usually you get a couple of flowers. But again, like I was saying, you can put it in. I'm also quite lazy, so I've just put it in like this. And then cover it up. So put in these. Bone meal the grass. Like that. So that gives us the kind of those kind of boxes. Actually, also on this section here that we've got, we can put in some grass blocks, even in this part here, and then bone meal. And this is where I've got flowers. Okay, just on one side, but you can do exactly the same. Just kind of knot them up like that. That works really nicely. And now whatever style that you use for the top part, because of course you could mix and match depending on what you want. You can have the bottom to be different from the top, or top to be different from the bottom, but just match that here. So again, I just did my kind of skip style type of thing, so you know, just alternating style. Even I think it's probably closer to what it really is. So I'm just going to put these in, and I'll just skip through this bit. Okay, and then once we've done that, if you come around to the back tower, and just like we did before, we're going to push this back. We're just going to cut around it, so it's just got a border, and this time it'll just be a 3x3 box. And then we'll get that. And we need to have, there we go, we've got them luckily down here. Basically stone brick stairs and stone brick slab. So we're going to do the same thing. Put these in here, put your slabs in as well. Just like that, and that gives us that kind of style. Okay, and now for the next floor, what you need to do is, if we come to either of these two sides, just like we did here, we're just going to go up, add an extra block, till we get to the top. There we go, we're at the top. Do it the same on the other side, and just work your way up. If you can place them right, I can't, obviously. So there we go, got that there, and the same here. Here, going up like that. Like that, like that, like that, and like that. So that will give us the kind of basic part. Now on this front part, what I did is I had this balcony, as you can see here, and it does come out by one block. So we need to grab our chiseled stone brick. I just added it onto these parts like this, and then went across with kind of normal stone brick and just took out that bit there. Now I do need to actually grab some sort of stairs here. I'll show you the alternate technique after we've done, but you can just put your kind of what they call never brick fence down there, or normal fence. And then on this pillar here, behind this one, we're going to go 1, 2. And then on the other side 2 as well. And then work our way up. Like that. Just like that. Now this back one we can just go, I don't know, just add an extra layer onto it, I think. So we're going to go basically from here, 1, 2, 3, and then this one will be the 4th. So we'll just add an extra section like that onto it. I'm just going to add an extra 3 onto here, just onto this back wall. And then again with this kind of stone brick style like this, chiseled. And what this will do is when we get onto the roof, it will just kind of mold into it fine. On this one here, actually on both of them, whoop, we can just add this in until it connects in, just like we did on the kind of lower one. Same here, like so. Just like that. And now we can pretty much just start on the actual roof style. So if we start with this lower one here, we're just going to go to this point. I just left this one here at that point. And going to do the same that we did on the front. Just add in these kind of roofing bits like that. And again, I kind of push these inside like that. Just so it kind of works a bit better when it kind of goes to it. It makes it look a bit smoother. There. And then when it hits into the side, it hits into the side. So that. And like that. And like that. And then a stone brick. And then to border it out on the overhang. And then upside down one here. And then down here. Just like that. And then again, this one here. This will just attach into the wall. And upside down stare it to make it look smoother. Like that. And over here. Like that. And then add your flick by adding an extra kind of one there. So that'll do that one. We can actually go onto the inside now. Here. This is where it's going to get a bit weird. But like I said before, I kind of just prefer this one to be one block in, and it also means we only have to put one block in there But you could just cover it up normally. So if we've got one there and one there. And what that does is it makes it look kind of like it's kind of recessed, and these kind of pillars are cutting through the roof, or almost cutting through the roof. If we come to the inside of this one, we can then do exactly the same, but we don't have to do as much because of this roof. So you can get this weird kind of squiggly style. Like that, and same again here and here. So then we'll get that kind of recess like that, which I think that's pretty cool. And now we're finally going to get onto the main roof. So if we start from this front part, we're just going to put in the normal wood here. And this is just going directly on top. We can also put in this lower layer here, and it'll just attach into this block. Then the next one, it's going to go here. And now we're going to wrap around here. So it starts to work its way around. This one would then run around it. Just like that. And if we get this attaches into here, and this one. And there, and then wrap it around. And then wrap around again. Again here. Right to there. Just like that. This next one will pretty much go all the way across and will connect into the other side. So what I do here is because... Okay, so I made a slight mistake. This isn't 2, so what I'm going to do is just cut back a little bit. Sorry about this, guys. But it's good that we caught it now. I'm just going to cut back that. Instead of it going up by 2, because I went up by 2, we're actually going to go by 3. So you got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I knew something didn't look quite right. And then we're going to move upwards like so. So we're going to get it like that. Now let's fix it. So, this part here, what I do is you can either have it there and you can hide a block behind here, or you can wrap a block this way and then take it away so it kind of wraps in there. I'll show you what that actually looks like because you can't really see it. Because you've got this overhang here, that's where the block is, and you really can't tell at all. It just looks like it's kind of seamless. So that's a little trick that you guys might want to learn. Then this one will go on top and go to this part. This one will go here, connect it in. Just doing what we did before. I'll do it on the other side with you guys from the start, just so you know. There you go, that looks better. It should be at the same height instead of it going up. So, on this side, I'm just going to drag these here. This is the one we need to turn, because otherwise you'll be able to see that kind of tiny hole, so... If you turn it there. Now this one, I'm going to go on top. And that's probably the most difficult part of this, is just making sure that that's on the side. It also connects into this bit. And then go around here. And then here. And wrap it in. And then the last one here. Just like this, wrap it around, and then we finish off there. Now, what we do need to do on this side as well is just add that overhang with the stone brick. So we've got these little overhanging bits here. We can have an upside down one here, and we can have that flicky bit as well. Might as well add that in. And then put in these upside down stairs. Here, 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 just like that. So that goes to that side. This front part as well. We can use the overhang on this. You can, if you want to, kind of continue this bit in to the side. I just didn't think it looked right. It didn't look like it flowed smoothly into it. So I actually just left it there. But it's up to you again. Got this here, upside down. Here, here, and then this way, and flicky bit there. And then all of these. And for this kind of front section, I did kind of basically mirrored this, but up on a higher one. And that's quite nice to do with your builds as well. Just to do some little mirroring. So we just got these kind of stairs in. An upside down stair there. That'll give you that kind of smoother look. And behind this, we can then go in one block and fill it up with cobblestone. Like that. And you can either have one window, one door even. One door or two, and it's up to you what you kind of want this material to be out of in the front. You can either have the stone brick, which I kind of like for this, or you can switch out this for wood or whatever you want, really. So if I just grab this and put in a door, again you can either have the door here, or you can have 2 doors, or whatever you want. I'm just going to go with 1. I had 2 doors on the other one, so I'm going to have that there. Put in a door. And one thing to do, kind of make doors look kind of deep, is just to switch out one of them for the stair variation. And this only works if you push it back to where I've pushed it back there. But that'll just kind of give it an extra little bit of depth, especially when we've got this part being quite deep. This is 3 blocks, 1, 2 and 3, and that's where you've got your door. So we're trying to kind of do that, but with 2 blocks, and you can do it, and kind of make it a kind of an illusion, I guess. So now what we're going to do here is we grab our cobblestone slabs, drag this across this part and join these 2 like that, and across here like that. And this middle bit I usually just add an extra 1 in. I didn't actually do that on the other one, but you can do it. Okay, now to add on the extra detail on this side, so we're just going to go to here like this and add stairs on the sides there, and then this part here, do the flicky bit piece thing, and upside down stairs to make it smoother. And that gives us basically the front. So we've already got that front side, so you can already see how it's starting to look. Looking pretty cool. So what we want to do with this tower before we start doing this back roof is just from this point, just add 2. So add 2 from here, and then we're going to have 5. And then I advise building up to the same height as this extra floor that we've got here. And we might need a little bit higher. We probably will need higher. So I'm actually going to put that in kind of now. Just build this all solid for the time being. And then I advise using your kind of chiseled stone brick just to tell where that floor is. That's where you would have a floor. And we need to go up 1 more. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3. And then this is where your chiseled stone brick's going to be. But I'm just going to do all of this part solid for the time being with stone brick. So go up and here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And build your way up. And what this will do is it will give us the kind of base for the actual tower. Like that. And then you can switch these parts out here for all of your kind of chiseled like that. So there we go. So that will give us the kind of base tower. So we know that that tower is going to be that big. And then it means that when we put in the roof, which is what we're going to do now, it'll kind of work nicely. Okay, so now grab your spruce wood again. And we're just going to put this on here. And this bit will just attach into the side, the kind of stone brick. Well, not stone brick, the stone. And then we're basically just going to be working this until it hits into this tower. And that's why I built it up first. It just makes it a lot easier. And if you wanted to cut out the tower from the inside, you can do it kind of easier on the inside. So this one is going to be annoying. There. And if you do get really stuck with this, you can always just, you know, put in a block here and use that as a guide. What I advise doing is using a block that isn't in the build. I use pink wool a lot for this kind of stuff. Because then I can go onto the inside and I know that I haven't used pink wool as an actual building material unless it's some sort of very strange thing in building. But you never know. So then this one, as you can see, I've just used that as a base. It makes it a lot easier. And then that will connect in, of course, over here. We might as well do these parts. We've now kind of transitioned to the other side pretty easily. So, there we go. I'm just going to punch through that one there, and then join this across. And then this one. And then the next bit. And then that one there. Then stone bricks. Not stone brick. I keep on saying stone brick. Stone stairs. Cobblestone stairs. Make those go up. Oh, we're missing one here. But I'm actually just going to put in the upside down detail as well while I'm here. Then wooden going across. Ah, god damn it. That's where it always gets fiddly. This is why I don't do towers on my builds. So a nightmare. Look cool, but they are a nightmare. There we go. So then add this across to here. And then put in your stone brick stairs. And then your upside down bits as well. Okay, and putting that there. So, how is it looking? Pretty cool. Yep. So this one here, we need to put in the cobblestone behind it. Just like that. And the same on the other side. Like that. Right, and I'm now going to go through this door. So you can kind of see the empty space is actually pretty big. You could, as like I was saying, just cut out, some of this. Before you put in the floors, I recommend just cutting out a little bit anyway. Just give you more kind of space to understand where it's going on the interior. This front part, we can do some pretty cool stuff. If you don't like the kind of never brick fence, we can actually use, for example, stairs. We can have this sort of style here. If I can place them down. So we've got an upside down one there, and then normal, and then upside down. The same on the other side, normal, upside down, normal. Like that, and then just have one in here. Something like that will look kind of interesting. And you can do loads of different stuff to kind of create interest with those kind of variations. You can also just use slabs, and then where it kind of looks right, put in, I don't know, an extra block like that, and then for this one, you would then do that. That also looks pretty interesting. Maybe I'll go with that. I'm going to just leave it like that for the time being. So that creates this kind of rail. It makes it look a little bit more fortified as well, rather than the actual fence. But again, it's up to you if you like that or not. And you can also cap these off if you wanted to with your kind of slabs. I don't like that at all, though. I think it looks a bit too something. You could even do something like this, where you got two raised. I don't like that either. So there's tons of basically variations you can do with slabs and stairs, but sometimes you want to just keep it simple, so that it just kind of looks quite fortified. But then you'd have a kind of, this balcony would be pretty cool if this was kind of a defensible building. It's made out of stone, so you could have arches up here as well as some on the tower for the back defense, which is quite cool. So what do we need to do next? I think we'll put in the flower boxes. So we're going to grab grass block, trapdoor, and also, there we go, I do have it, bone meal. Now we're just going to put them in these gaps here. This one you can only fit 2 in, and you can only really bone meal 1. Actually, I'm going to cut out that one and put in an extra one. So this is where you can kind of choose if you want to have that wood going all the way or not. Where else have we got to put one in? Probably on the other side. Yep. So this one's got a kind of nice big bit. Put these on here. And then bone meal that. Yeah, got a flower. Good. So there we go. That gives us that side. What do we also need? Okay, buttons. We can always do something with those. So we can actually grab, for example, on these parts, we can switch this bit out for chiseled stone brick, so that it accentuates this kind of top of the roof part, and I've put a button on. Then basically all of these chiseled stone bricks, we can put a button on and it kind of accentuates it a little bit, adds a little bit of detail. So you can go around the build here and here. And actually what I'd do on these parts, because it doesn't look that well supported for this balcony, so I grab the stone brick stairs and actually add them in here. And add a little bit more thickness to it as well. So that makes it look a little bit more supported. You could also use the kind of stone stairs. Because the pillars are there, it kind of adds a little bit more there. So, where else can we put buttons? We're on button hunt at the minute. There we go, button in there. Button in there. This one, and cut out again. Put in a kind of chiseled and put that in. Same on this part. I'll accentuate that. Put in that button there. So if we fly around, we've got a couple more. So we've got one here. With this tower, I also advise doing it on that. But basically, look at the face that it's got, the 5 here. And that's where we'll put it. So we'll go here, 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 here. Not on the top. We're going to be doing something with that in a second. And then here. Obviously, you've got this middle bit. I just leave that blank. And just put the buttons on the kind of solid face part. And there. And remember to forget the top part. Put in these bits, and where have we got there? There. And you can't see any on the inside anyway. So we've got one button to put in there. So that's looking pretty good so far. So I'm now going to have a look at the tower, and I think that's pretty much it to finish it off. Okay, so for the tower, what we're going to do is on this back wall again, we're going to just cut out this free, like this. Go on the inside, do the same thing that we did before, like that. And we can jump around, put in your things, and you can see the kind of difference already from that box there that looks terrible to these nice kind of shapes. So it's quite good what you can do just by rounding it. I wouldn't put one on this side because you haven't really got enough space. So I actually left that one blank, as you can see over here. But you can put it on the next level, and this can work with at least 3 of the sides. Like that. Then put in your cobblestone. Like this, and on the other side. Like that, and on the other side again. Just like that. And then, of course, apply that style that we kind of did earlier. So you've got these in here and here. Just like that. And put these in. And if you want to, you can always just leave it like that. It makes it look more rounded, but it shows these chiseled stone brick ones. So that's why I kind of cover those up. Again, around the back, I just ignored that. You can't really see it. Then if you grab whatever kind of wood you want for this top part, I'm going to use spruce, for example. And just fill this top bit in. Like this. So there we go. So then you've got the top. Now we're going to make it actually look interesting. So grab your stone brick stairs and just put them upside down on here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to wrap them around the entire section. So it'll extend and make this kind of top bit a little bit bigger than the rest. And this makes it look more castle-like kind of instantly. So if we put that in there and wrap around, and then we've got that. So it should be wrapped all the way around. And now what we're going to do is if you grab your chiseled stone brick, if you just put it on the edge, and we're just going to skip one and then place one. So you should have these gaps. Just like this. Like that. Then grab your stone brick stairs, and we're just going to basically go up and down. Like that, so these are pointing the kind of outside way, like that. So it's pretty cool. And we get this. So there you go. So that's just alternating there. Again, grab your buttons, put those buttons on those faces, ignore these kind of middle bits. Put them on here, and here, and here. Just like that. So that gives you the tower as well. And that's pretty much it for the tutorial. So you can see what I've done here as well. If you wanted to make this a prison tower, you could just cut out these. So there you go. That'd be if you wanted to make a prison. And that's ridiculously easy to do. And you could just switch out the side ones as well. Or if you just want it to be like a knight's hall. You've got this absolutely huge amount of space now to kind of work with. Obviously, you've got a lot you can kind of cut out on these sides. But that's pretty much it. I'm just going to have a look at my other one and just tell you a couple of things that you can do to make and kind of add extra bits of detail. So the main thing that you can do is just by using different block types. As you can see here, there you go. So I've used kind of mossy stone here, and there's probably also cracked, there you go, there's cracked stone bricks there. You can also do it with the mossy cobblestone as well. And adding that in and making it look a little bit weathered actually really works. So you can see on this wall here, because I didn't have this indent, what I did instead is I used those extra blocks like the mossy and the cracked to make it look more detailed, and to make it look like it's less empty. This face doesn't have any at all, so what I'd actually do is probably something like this and try and basically make that look like it's got a lot of interest in it, even though it doesn't. And that's a really good trick to kind of anything that you've got blank walls. Use any other blocks that you've got that kind of can fill in that. This front wall, for example, looks pretty boring. And what I'll do is I'll grab my moss stone and actually just switch out a couple of these. And there, and grab that down there. And that already makes it look interesting. And probably some down here as well. And you can go around the entire build and just switch out a couple of them. And you probably don't want to do it too strong, but it'll just add an extra layer of detail. Another thing you can do on these parts is just upside down stairs, and this is kind of up to you. You can even do it on there and actually just get rid of those flowers. I'll show you what that looks like. So you got that. I didn't like that. The reason being, it made these walls look like... It made this here look like it was going, I don't know, from here. I don't know why. It just didn't look quite right for me. So I ended up just leaving that. At least I think I did. I can't even remember now. Yeah, I ended up leaving it. It just... I don't know, it just didn't look quite right. But you can do stuff like that, and you can also do, you know, stuff like this. And you can do really weird details and stuff on that. But that's pretty much it for the tutorial on the kind of quite grand... I guess it's either a house, a kind of fancy house, or it's a knight's hall, which is what I've used it for it in Decorative. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed the tutorial. If you have, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.